Hey there, my name is Megan and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my September TBR. Grayson wants to say hi. He's meowing. Can you guys believe how big he's gotten? He's 6, almost 7 months old now, and he's just so big. Sorry. Okay, so as you guys know, I have a TBR jar that I pick certain prompts from and then match books to those prompts. So let me grab my jar. Before I pick my prompts, I am still reading Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson. This we are reading for Storm Along 2020, and we got halfway through this in the month of August, so we're reading the second half in the month of September. So if you guys are interested in joining along with the read of the Stormlight Archives in preparation for Rhythm of War to come out in November, then I'll link the announcement video down below. But I think it'll be easy to get through the second half of this book in September because Sanderson does have a very, in my opinion, digestible writing style, and so I'm very eager to finish this and then move on to Oathbringer in October. Okay, here's my TBR jar. So the first prompt, read a classic. I feel like I haven't read nearly as many classics this year as I have in years past, so I'm glad that I'm going to be able to read a classic. For this, I'm going to choose The Woman in White by Wilkie Collins. This is a fairly chunky book, but I feel like it's a good autumnal read because it is one of the earliest written ghost stories. This book follows an artist named Hartright, and one night he encounters a woman dressed all in white, a ghostly figure, and he and a friend take it upon themselves to discover what exactly happened to this woman and the mystery surrounding her death. And this book has been recommended to me, so I'm actually extremely excited to get into it. Okay, prompt 2. Read an adult fantasy. I have so many options for this, especially since I have several series that I need to finish by the end of the year. I'm going to go with A Conjuring of Light by V.E. Schwab. I have already put this on my TBR at one point and I didn't get around to it, but no excuses. This is getting read in September because I want to be caught up on all of her books that I own by the time Addie LaRue comes out in October. So if you don't know what the Shades of Magic trilogy is, it follows a world that has kind of like multiple dimensions, and we learn there are several Londons that are in existence. There is Black, Gray, White, and Red London, and Red London is the London that still has magic. And we follow a magician, I'm not sure what they're called, I think they're called blood mages or blood magicians, named Kel, and he's the only one that is able to pass between multiple Londons. So this series, I've heard, goes off with a big bang, and I'm very excited to finally finish it and see what happens to all of our characters. Okay, prompt 3. Adult science fiction. Okay, so I don't want to start a new sci-fi series, but I have a decent amount of standalone science fictions that I can choose from. For this, I'm going to choose Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. I read Recursion by Blake Crouch last year and really liked it. His books are not very long. Recursion was extremely fast-paced and they're very thought-provoking. Dark Matter follows a man named Jason, and one day he is knocked unconscious and wakes up kind of in a hospital to a life that is not his own. Everything that he knew about his life, his family, his job, all of that has completely disappeared, and he's been inserted into this brand new life. So he goes on this journey to uncover what happened, what's going on. Is it time travel? Is it multiple dimensions? And I really don't know anything else about this book going into it, so I am here for the roller coaster ride that is Blake Crouch. Okay, prompt number 4. YA fantasy. Okay, I know exactly what I'm going to choose for my YA fantasy because it is a series that I want to finish by the end of the year. That is going to be A Reaper at the Gates by Sabaa Tahir. This is book 3 in an Ember in the Ashes series, which I just started a couple months ago and have really fallen in love with. This book follows a very Roman-inspired world. It's very dark, it's very brutal, and we follow a slave girl that escaped with an imperial soldier that deserted, and they are on the run from the people that are chasing them. And in the last book, we learned something about Laia, our female slave, that she might have special abilities and people have been looking for her. And then our main character, Elias, the male, made a very interesting deal with a supernatural creature that I'm very interested to see how that is going to affect the rest of the series. So this is a lot of fun. It's very fast-paced, very action-packed, and I'm excited to see how the story continues. And now I will be caught up before book 4 comes out. And if you can hear my cat meowing, I do apologize. Okay, and the last prompt is to read an arc. So I actually don't receive that many arcs, but I have a couple that I've had since last year. So they're no longer arcs, but they're arc copies. So I'm going to count that because I still need to get to them and I still want to read them. For this, I'm going to read The Stars We Steal by Alexis. I don't know if it's pronounced Donne or Dawn, but this is an author who I've heard of, but I've never read any of her work, and I know that this is a science fiction romance. It is described as The Bachelor in Space, which just sounds so incredibly bizarre and kind of piqued my interest, so I'm glad that I got an arc of this. Like I said, this is already out. It came out in February of 2020, so I'm a little bit behind. But this follows a princess named Leo, and Leo is on the search for a bachelor that can save her family from financial ruin. One day, Leo's best childhood friend named Elliot returns from a space mission, and it turns out that he has become the most eligible bachelor in the galaxy. So our main character, Leo, has to compete with all of these other girls to try and capture Elliot's attention once again. So it just sounds like a fun romance in a space setting, and I'm here for that. And hopefully this is an author that I will like, and I'll be able to read more of her work. Alright, you guys, so that is it for my September TBR. Let me know in the comments if you have read any of these books and what you thought of them, or what you're planning to read in the month of September. And I will see you guys soon with another video. Goodbye!